Hey, what's happening, football peeps? It's me, Crazyfrankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my Week 17 Special Edition video. Now, bear with me here for a couple things. Number one, this video is very, very late. I understand I was supposed to get this in a couple of days ago, but obviously because I'm resting up, I'm not working, and then I'm dealing with personal issues, including also I'm celebrating my birthday this week as well. I'm doing my best to get this video in now. Another thing to bear in mind here, I'm going to do absolute my best not to make this video so long and dull. So bear with me here. This special edition video consists of what we are going to look at in terms of the current playoff scenarios. And from what I've been looking at, there is an actual key game that I will talk about. It's not going to be 4 key games this week because teams have already clinched and all. So there is only going to be one game that I will say is a key game. But anyways, let's take a look right now at the current playoff picture right now going into Week 17. In the AFC, the New England Patriots are the 1 seed, the Oakland Raiders are the 2nd seed, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the 3rd seed, the Houston Texans are the 4th seed, and in the wild cards, Kansas City is the 5th seed, and the Miami Dolphins are the 6th seed. In the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys are the 1 seed, the Atlanta Falcons now are the 2nd seed, the Seattle Seahawks are the 3rd seed, the Green Bay Packers have now moved up to the 4th seed, virtue of taking the lead in the division in the NFC North. The New York Giants are the 5th seed, and the Detroit Lions are the 6th seed. Everything in the AFC right now has been clinched. New England has already clinched home field advantage. The Raiders have already clinched the playoff berth. They haven't clinched the division yet. The Pittsburgh Steelers have already clinched the AFC North division. The Houston Texans have already clinched the AFC South division. Kansas City and Miami have already clinched playoff berths. So those are your 6 teams. The only thing that's going to be happening in that is mostly jockeying for playoff seedings. Now, in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys have already clinched home field. Atlanta's moved up to the 2nd seed. They've already clinched the NFC South division, but they haven't clinched the 2nd seed just yet. Seattle's already clinched the West. Green Bay currently holds a lead in the NFC North division. The Giants have already clinched the playoff berth, so they're pretty much locked into the 5th seed, I think, at the moment. I'm not 100% sure about that, but we'll look at what we have. I have a paper right here. These papers are with me right now to give me notes on what we want to talk about here. Now, Washington Redskins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in a playoff hunt. These 2 teams can still get in. Now, let's go to the AFC quickly. Now, the New England Patriots haven't clinched home field just yet. I made an error on that when I was talking about the seedings here. They have to win their game against Miami in order to clinch. For the Raiders, they have to not only win their division, but they also have to hope they gotta win their game against Denver and hope that New England loses in order for Oakland to be the number 1 seed. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs can still end up winning the division and also clinching a first-round bye if they win out their game and Oakland losing. Now, and also the only other thing left in the AFC is the Miami Dolphins. Now, Miami can clinch the 5th seed. They have to beat New England, and they got to hope Kansas City loses. So the AFC pretty much is all wrapped up. It's all going to be jockeying for playoff seedings. And right now, Pittsburgh and Houston are pretty much locked into the 3 and 4th seed, so that's not much to concern yourself with in the AFC conference. Now, in the NFC, it's a little bit more complicated. Now, Dallas has already clinched the first-round bye. They're locked as the 1 seed. Now, the Atlanta Falcons can clinch the 2nd seed is they got to win. Seattle has to either lose or tie. Seattle lost and Detroit losing. Seattle tie, and Detroit loss or tie. So that's a little bit complicated on that part. Now, the Seahawks can clinch a first-round bye if they win their game and Atlanta loses or ties or ends up in a tie. Seattle can tie and Atlanta losing, plus the Lions and Packers ended up tying their game. The Detroit Lions can clinch the division. They have to win Not only that, if they can win and get a first round bye, they have to win, Seattle losing, and Atlanta losing. Detroit can still get into the playoffs. They have to either tie and also hope that Washington loses or ties. Green Bay Packers, very simple. They can win the NFC North Division by a win or a tie. Green Bay can still be in the playoffs by virtue of Washington losing or Washington tying, Tampa Bay winning. And Green Bay would eventually clinch at least a tie in strength of victory over the Buccaneers. Now, problem with the Buccaneers. They have probably the most difficult riding on it. They have to hope that they have to win their next game against the Panthers. They have to win. Washington would have to tie, plus a Green Bay loss. And not only that, they would own the tiebreaker if all the following teams end up winning, like the Titans, the Colts, Dallas, and San Francisco. Let's be reasonable here on this. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to make the playoffs. That's going to be one of my predictions right there. It's too complicated for the Buccaneers, so if you want my honest opinion, the Bucs, they have no chance. They're pretty much done. Washington, on the other hand, has an edge right now. They can still get into the playoffs with a win, and the Lions-Packers game does not end in a tie. That game cannot end in a tie. Or Washington can get a tie in their game, plus a Green Bay loss, or the Buccaneers losing or a tie. So the Redskins have a more easier route. All right, let's get into my predictions for what I see happening now. All right, let's begin in the AFC. My prediction is the New England Patriots will clinch the home field advantage because they know full well Miami doesn't have really much to play for. Even if they somehow win, even if they somehow pull the upset, even if they somehow pull the upset, I still think New England would get the home field advantage throughout the AFC. Now, the 2 seed is going to be the question right now to determine here. Now, Oakland is playing Denver and KC is playing San Diego. What do I see the outcome of that game? Of both of these games. I see the Chiefs winning. They will beat the Chargers. They need it. Because I would say they have a more edge right now because they've already beaten the Raiders twice. Not only that, if they win out this game against the Chargers, they will clinch the division. And Oakland would end up being a wild card. So either way, they would still get in. What do I see happening out of those games? Now, Derek Carr got hurt, so that really hurts the Raiders' chances now in the game against Denver, a game that they can easily clinch the division and get a first-round bye. I think with the quarterback issues, if Denver shows up in this game, I think to me the Raiders are going to end up playing a wild card game, and I see Kansas City taking the AFC West. Those are my predictions. As far as anything else in the AFC, pretty much I would see what I just talked about right now. Oakland would end up being a 5 seed if KC wins and Oakland loses. And Miami pretty much will be locked into the 6 seed. Now, the NFC is going to be a little bit interesting here. Now, we all know the Cowboys have home field. So that's pretty much locked up. Atlanta already clinched the division. The only thing they're trying to clinch is a first-round bye. And in their next game, they are playing the Saints. As well as the Seahawks are also playing for a 2 seed as well. They got the 49ers. What's going to happen here is the Seattle Seahawks blew their chance to get a 2 seed last week, losing to Arizona. So now it puts Atlanta now into the driver's seat now to pretty much lock up the 2 seed, and that's what I'm going to see that's going to happen here. I see Atlanta beating the Saints. Seattle will beat the 49ers, but I think it'll be too little too late for the Seahawks to clinch the 2nd seed when they should have outright beaten Arizona last week. So Atlanta will clinch the 2 seed, and I see the Seahawks getting the 3rd seed, and now it comes down to the 4th and the last wildcard spot. And this is what my key game is going to be about. The winner of the NFC North Division will have a couple things happen. Now, if Washington ends up winning, the Redskins will get in. and whoever loses the NFC North, loses the right for the NFC North division is going to be out. I've already predicted that the Buccaneers will be out. I don't give them much of a chance because they got a lot of things have to go for them right. So I predict that the Redskins will beat the Giants because they are fighting for their playoff lives. The Giants are already locked into the 5th seed, so they can't go any higher than that. Which now, if I'm going to say this now, if Washington will beat the Giants, now is when I'm going to get into my key game here. The Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. Big time winning streak on the road for Aaron Rodgers. He's on a roll. The Detroit Lions already messed themselves up by losing 3 games straight already. Now it comes down to whoever wins the division. The loser is going to be out. Green Bay is doing excellent, and Detroit's been doing very well at home. But this is where the problem is going to lay. Green Bay the Packers have already beaten the Lions earlier in the season, so they have the edge right now, and they currently lead the division. The Lions may be good at home, but I hate to say it, and I think every pundit and guru will agree with me that I don't really give the Lions much of a chance in this game, and this is why you have to go with the Green Bay Packers in this one. The Green Bay Packers are going to win the NFC North division. For the Detroit Lions, and I'm going to say this to the entire team, and especially all you Lions fans, I hope you guys have balls to show up for this game, because really right now, the way the team is playing, it's a major collapse. When you guys had the division lead the last 5 weeks of the regular season, and now it comes down to this game, a game that should not be coming down to. And I hate to say it, as I said, I predicted Green Bay to win. Detroit is going to be out. I think they'll be out of the playoffs. So for the Lions, if you guys have balls, you better show up for this game. Otherwise, you're done. I see Green Bay winning this game. They'll win the division, and the Lions will be out. So there you go. These are my final prediction seedings. New England will keep the 1 seed. Kansas City will win the division. They will take the 2nd seed. Pittsburgh stays at 3. Houston stays at 4. The Raiders pretty much will stay at the 5 seed, and the Dolphins will stay in the 6 seed. And in the NFC, Dallas will hold on to the 1 seed. Atlanta will clinch a first round bye that will get the 2nd seed. The Seattle Seahawks will be locked to the 3rd seed. The Green Bay Packers will be the 4th seed. Giants are locked into the 5th seed, and Washington Redskins will get in. They will get in by virtue of beating the Giants, which I think is going to happen. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. That is your week 7. This is my thoughts and predictions for week number 17. Now, I'll do my best as this video getting edited to put as much text in there as possible, because it is a lot of text I'm going to put in here, and I have to say that I thought this video was going to be a lot longer than I thought. It's not. So there you go, people. Those are my final projected seedings for both the AFC and NFC conference. And Green Bay and Detroit is the key game that I talked about, and that's pretty much it in what I want to talk about in my Week 17 video. Keep in mind next week, after this week, yes, I'm going to be doing the NFL playoffs as well as Super Bowl 51. So make sure you check that out coming up next week. All right, guys. Go to thesportblog.blogspot.com for all of the Week 17 NFL lines, including all of my picks for that week. And until then, guys, I will see you all next week when I talk about my video for the wild card games. And I want to wish you guys all a happy new year. Hopefully, you guys stay safe. And as we open up 2017, hopefully with hopefully a much better year. I know 2016 wasn't really a great year personally for our country, or for a lot of people. Anyways, but hopefully 2017 will bring some more positives and negatives. Anyways, guys, I'll see you all next week. Take care and enjoy the last weekend of the regular season going into the NFL playoffs. Take care.